Richard Rouse.
And Robert, at what point did you enter the...
Well, Kirk had, we had a meeting and he told me the story and then told me what it was based on, and then had photos of the whole, the project of the traveling through across the country and everything, and I was impressed with how passionate about the project he was, but I could see that he just was special. He doesn't do movies often. This will have been his third, and so that was important for me, knowing that he cared so much, obviously. And so then I saw the original, and then I saw his other two movies, and I read the script, and then we just decided when to do it.
Mr. De Niro, could you talk a little bit about how your personal life, I mean, I know your father was an artist, you would consider yourself an artist of a different type, how your personal life affects the roles that you pick and the way you play them, perhaps, in this movie, especially with with a father looking back on his life, this reflection.
Yeah, I mean, I related to Frank, obviously, and drew on my own experiences, like I do in all my parts. I mean, you draw on whatever is relevant to the part that you're playing. It makes it more personal, and there was a lot here. Of course, I have 5 children, 2 grandchildren, but also going back to Kirk being the director, caring. That's the anchor of the whole thing. So that's really, really important.
That's more important than the role itself?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's not more important, but it equally as important, depending, because he has to steer the ship, do all, it's his baby, so he's got to make the choices and all that. And so I put myself in his hands, so to speak.
Good morning. I love this movie so much. The most moving parts for me were when we see the telephone poles. And we're living in a society now where, when was the last time you heard a busy signal? So do you guys get nostalgic for those times? And if so, are you into the techno gadgets? Do you each talk about that?
Twitter?
Yeah. Twitter.
Yeah.
Elaborate, please.
Bob twitters a lot.
No, I don't Twitter. I've Twittered just like that. Somebody told me about it. I didn't even know what it was. And I said, Twitter.
I'm Twittering right now.
Could each of you actors weigh in on that too? Say, I have a computer.
Yeah, no, I mean, I have memories of calling my agent from a phone booth, and I can still remember Greek diners that I went to, and I got a call back for that movie, and I almost got that. Or, there's memories being frustrated and hitting a phone booth, maybe for one reason or another. So yeah, sure, but texting. The texting thing is very. It gets to be too much. For me, certainly, you're the multitasking. I read an article in The Week recently where they said, well, what's the special? What makes a multitasker great at being a multitasker? And they said nothing, because they can't really do anything well, because they're trying to do too many things, So.
I use a computer. I don't even know how good I am at it. I slowly use little things and get emails, and I look at videos on the computer, and I use an iPhone. And I guess I use it adequately.
That's good for research.
Yeah, it's great.
I should probably went for research, but I don't.
So the first question is.
With your own father?
Yeah, with my own father. Yeah, he was pretty easy on me about what I wanted to do, be an actor and stuff like that. He was. He came. My grandfather was more strict, more old school, old time Italian thing. not even strict that much, I think, my impression of him, but more than, say, I was, and my father certainly was. He came from that to New York City, and to get away from certain things, and they raised me kind of easily, and the fact I want to be an actor, that was okay with them, my mother and father. And my kids, I try not to be too strict with, but there's certain things they have to do. At the same time, I don't want them to get away with anything. But I think I try to rationalize with them and argue this. I say, look, I'm very good with you about certain things. I let you do this, so you have to now do this. I mean, that's only fair. So, you know, of course, there are times when that stuff doesn't work, but, you know, you'd love to be the all-knowing, all-seeing, you know. But I think in general it's pretty good.
You mean curfew kind of things?
I don't put a curfew. I do this, get the. You know, I'm flexible with certain things that the kids have to do. They have to go to. It's not like a curfew. I say you got to go to sleep at a certain time. Or, you know.
And the other part?
Huh?
The other part was about the comedy she asked.
Oh, the comedy thing. What you mean in this movie or in?
Yeah, general, in this movie is the comedy scene is not so comedy, physical comedy.
In this movie, yeah.
It's kind of funny. So what you most concerned about is pay attention, not so kind of physical that you have to make audience laugh.
Well, this is a more gentle sort of what would you call it? The comedy in this is not like, say, Meet the Parents, which is some.
It's more kind of observational, which we kind of all see in our own parents and our own fathers and things.
Dramedy, so yeah. Right.
Dramedy, yeah.
Bob, you've worked on every scale movie, from big mega productions to an indie like this, and as both a producer, actor, and director. Do you talk about the difference between the experience of working in those big scale films and working on this one? Are you going to do more indies like this, more smaller scale films like this going forward?
Yeah, I think I will. Well, the difference is you have more time. You have more. There's just a lot more. There are a lot more people on the set. A lot more trucks. A lot more. It's a big production. I don't know. It's just somehow. I mean, making movies are very simple. Ultimately, I always wonder when I walk on a big movie and you see all these trucks and this, and I say, just to get this, you got to get all these people. And of course, those are only certain movies that do that. But it was good. This to me is a normal. I think we shot 8 weeks.
Yeah.
So 8 weeks is a pretty good schedule. It's an independent film, sort of. But an independent would even be less than what was on this film, I think. Really, cost less to make. Maybe a shorter schedule, like 5 weeks, 4 weeks.
Mm.
But will you be doing more like
this? Yes, yeah, I would. Yeah,
do you have some things in mind, or
some? Yeah.
You're not going to tell us.
That's. And with Kirk, hopefully,
Are you doing another Meet the Parents?
We're doing the third, Meet the Little Fockers.
Richard Krause.